Well, home buyers are grappling with a difficult housing market and wondering when they can see themselves some relief out here in these streets. Rates are just below 7%, but meaningful declines could still be months away. Here to weigh in, we've got Jennifer Beeston, who is the Senior Vice President of Mortgage Lending at Guaranteed Rate. Great to have you here in studio with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So for home buyers out there that potentially have some meetings and appointments set up over the course of this weekend, and are also trying to remember how they can negotiate mortgage rates, what is the top tip that they need to remember going into all of these discussions?
Well, there's a couple top tips, but the biggest one would be research the lender you're talking to. A lot of times people are just calling, well, what's the rate? What's the rate? But they're not asking about the fees. They're not asking about discount points. They're not asking the questions they need. So I would say find a lender with really good reviews, and then I would talk to the lender way before you're going to shop and talk to them about the rates, the fees, and then compare lenders based off of that. Because it's more than just the rate. It's what they're going to charge you for that rate.
What's the common pitfall that you see as people are, it's of course emotion, it's the spending and trying to make sure that you're not getting taken advantage of out there in the housing market as well. What are some of the top pitfalls that are most frequently repeated?
So one of the biggest concerns that I'm always telling people about is, look, if a lender's quoting you a rate, you need to see in writing if there's discount points and if there's fees, because what's happening in the market right now is a client will call a lender, they'll say, hey, I really want 6%. And the lender goes, yeah, I got that. But they don't say, I got that, and it's gonna cost you $10,000, $12,000, $15,000. So I'm looking at loan estimates all the time because I just tell people, send them to me, I'll look at it. And I'm like, hey, how much did the lender say it was gonna cost you for this rate? And they go, nothing. And I go, well, it says $20,000 right here. So you really need to check everything is the biggest tip I have.
Check everything, even into some of the contracts that you sign with real estate agents as well.
Yes.
We were discussing this just in the green room a moment
Yes.
ago here. Why is this so frequent right now?
Well, because of the NAR lawsuit, starting in August, real estate agents are going to be requiring these buyer's agreement before they show a house. And we're already seeing agents do them. And my biggest concern and what I'm seeing that's alarming is that these contracts are being sent to buyers without being explained, and the buyers are signing them without reading them. So you've got both commission being locked in with a real estate agent, and no one's reading it. And this is negotiable. This is big money that could hurt your wallet. So that's one of my big fears moving into the rest of this year is what's going to happen with those agreements.
And so within those agreements, what should you be going through and redlining as part of that negotiation?
Yeah, I mean, look, I would definitely be discussing the commission. Are you willing to pay the commission? Before this year, the concept of a buyer paying a real estate agent's commission was foreign, but because of the NAR lawsuit, it's on the platter. So, A, are you willing? B, how much do you want to pay? There's no set amount in the industry, and I think that we really need to do a lot of education about that. And then lastly, time period. You could have it where you just sign an agreement for one house, but a lot of agents are sending these out saying, hey, you've got to work exclusively with me for a year.
There are a lot of new first-time home buyers that are trying to figure out, okay, where are we going? What is the region that we want to be in? What is the fair price that seems applicable for that region? What should they be going through in their own thought process as they're trying to make that first-time home purchase?
In terms of where they're living or in terms of signing a buyer's agreement?
In terms of where they're living, in terms of the type of home, just the top considerations.
Oh, I mean, look, a lot of it's going to depend on, do you need to be close to your job? That's number one. If you don't need to be close to your job and you can be a remote worker, which is what we saw a lot of in 2020, 2021 and 2, where do you want to live? Really just taking time to write down your goals before you start shopping, because otherwise people fall into, I would almost say, a Zillow days, where they're just looking at houses everywhere in the country without thinking about school districts, proximity to work.
This feels like a personal attack right now, Jennifer.
Are you home buying? Oh no, how many hours are you on Zillow a night?
I mean, look, you just always are on Zillow, just trying to figure out what's out there.
Look, I've done it. I've been at the point where my eyes, I can't open them in the morning. So I feel you, but you gotta write down a list of your goals and you gotta stick to it.